exercises do you do?
What kind of exercise do I do? When I was young, when I started learning by myself, 16 and on, I didn't do anything. I was a stupid kid who just was so impatient to get on the wire. I would just walk on the wire and practice, but I didn't have any preparation routine. And after the years, when I started asking my body so much perfection on the wire to do special walks, I had to prepare my body. So since I learned everything by myself, I actually start taking from different artists or a yoga teacher or a dancer like Barishnikov who is a friend, and he showed me, some move that dancers do, or a great juggler show me things. And then I made my little cooking, my little 10 minutes warm up, plus another 10 minutes of stretching and all that, and I do that before a performance. And I am 66 today, I'm still practicing 3 hours a day on the wire and jumping and unicycling and all those things, because I will never give up. You know what, let's have a few more questions and then I will let you go home. So hold on, yes, the man in the back over there.
I was down on Maiden Lane that day in New York City, and I just want to say that you've been an inspiration to me since then.
You were actually there?
I was there that day, but I got there at about 9 in the morning, and you were down over.
Okay.
The buzz was all over Wall Street.
Okay.
That's all anybody can talk about. But I do have a question.
Yes, please.
I saw you later. Here's my question. I saw you later in Sheridan Square, as Dave mentioned, on your unicycle, and you bring people up to the circle,
yeah,
and you perform. And you were facing in the opposite direction. And a woman next to me took a pack of cigarettes out of her purse, and you were performing or juggling or something. And she goes to put the cigarette in her mouth, and you stopped what you were doing and turned around and went to light her cigarette. But it wasn't a cigarette lighter, it was a little flashlight, and everybody
Yes.
laughed. But can you see?
Well,
Absolutely.
absolutely. I have eyes in the back of my head. The thing is, I love the fact that you mentioned my street jogging. I still do it. I don't do it regularly. I do it either in Washington Square Park or in different parks when I travel in the world. I love to do it. I will never stop that. And that's how my life started, as the film shows. So I created, and in the film, I really dislike the way they show my street jogging character. I don't know, I do 3 times the same little trick to the hat, and I look like I am a common jester. Well, actually, I created a silent comic character. I don't do mime, but I am silent. And it took me 50 years to develop that character. And I'm not at all playing with the audience. I am playing with the audience in doing comic improvisation, but I'm not trying to please the audience. So it's a very different character. So for example, I could be juggling even on a tightrope between 2 trees in a park, and I can see the guy right here who is giving food to his dog, or the little kid here who leave his mother's hand and start getting inside my circle. So very often I would stop and I will improvise, I will, for example, if somebody gets in my circle, like you saw in the movie, I will silently let them go away, and if they don't understand, I will go with my unicycle. So it is very true that I could be juggling and seeing somebody right there, almost behind me, taking his cigarette out, and then instead of a lighter, maybe it was getting dark, so I thought it was funny to try to lit with a flashlight. But anyway, I do those things all the time. Yeah. When you're a juggler, you have to have eyes a little bit everywhere. Okay, a few last questions. Oh yeah, you have a question? Pardon? Pardon? Oh yes, and I still practice. You need to practice, and I go very, very fast, and it's by almost a centimeter, a half inch. I can go and I can go over your toe or even climb it. It doesn't hurt, it's tired, but it's very impressive. So yeah. Yes, please.
Did you ever see a doctor about your foot?
No. You know what? I never see a doctor. I don't have the time to get ill. It's an easy answer. No, truly, I actually, it's ridiculous, but I don't have a doctor, And at the time, this fit is a little bit like what you saw in the movies. I don't have the time to go to the hospital. Are you insane? It's like I don't have the time to eat before the war. What? holding this cable? No, you were. Okay. Yes.
This is kind of silly, but do you have a favorite play about William Shakespeare? And if so, what is it?
Oh, that is a very interesting question. Do I have a favorite play by William Shakespeare? And if so, what is it? Okay, I am going to confess my ignorance. I have not read or seen all the plays, all the work of Shakespeare. I am a street juggler. I was thrown out of 5 different schools. And education was actually to steal knowledge as I lived, as I galloped through life. So I should, one of these days, stop and start reading all of Shakespeare. So I went to the Globe, which is in London. It's a reconstruction, very, very real, of the first theater of Shakespeare. And it's a theater in the round, like circus, you know. And I saw Richard III, which I thought was fantastic. And then after that, I became a friend with Al Pacino, and he invited me to see his Richard III. And by the way, if you're interested, he did a beautiful documentary called Looking for Richard. And it's a documentary about, you know, the play. And he goes in the streets of New York and he says, do you know Shakespeare? You don't know Shakespeare? You know, things like that. And then he's improvising as Richard III. So I thought that was a very interesting play, but I have to see more to be able to answer your question better. Thank you. Okay, yes.
Yeah, I was wondering, were you in touch with your parents?
Oh, that one thing I hate in this movie, let's not mince words, is the way my father or my parents, my father is portrayed. My father was a poet, an historian, a flying man, an aviator, and he was sophisticated, and I got from him a sense of perfection, and he was not a jerk who said, wow, my son, a clown, oh, get out of the house. So I could not understand how somebody as intelligent as Mr. Zemeckis let that be in his movie. But anyway, again, movies is storytelling, and sometimes the storyteller goes into tangents. You know. Pardon? Well, the thing is, it's a little bit sad, but in my personal life, I never felt I was pushed or understood by my parents until the very end, you know, when they thought I was successful, which was not what I was interested to do in life, to become successful. I never thought of that. It's a great idea, but not for me. Okay, the last question.
I've been wanting to ask you for about 40 years. I too was in Sheridan Square one summer night.
Did you give a quarter in my hat?
I'm sure I did. At least. And you walked a rope, and maybe one end was just a long time ago, tied to maybe a lamppost or something.
Yes, a lamppost or a
The other
tree.
was held by people.
Oh, sometime in the
my
street.
question
Well,
is-
no, hold on. Let me interrupt you first. I am very interrupting people, but I'll come back to you. So the thing is, in the street, it's not a cable like that. It's a little rope that I put in a bag and carry on my shoulders. So I put the rope between 2 lampposts or 2 trees. And sometimes when there is only one support, and it happened out of improvisation, I had put the rope and I had not sort of looking, oh, there is nothing. So I start taking people from the crowd, trying to find like strong people, you know. I don't talk, I played with them. And then they pull the rope, and then still I try to walk on it, it's too flimsy. So then I find a giant, you know, as I look for a giant in the crowd. I even have a measure tape, and I go in the crowd and I and I make the giant come and create a post with his legs like this, you know, while the other people are pulling, and then I'd be able to walk. So now let's go back
Well,
to
the
your
question
question.
was, were they all volunteers, or did you know anyone? You just answered
Well,
the
the beauty in theater is that everybody is a volunteer. Like right now, if I would do a magic trick, they would say, I need 2 assistants, you and you. I make you a volunteer. What are you going to say? Oh no, I don't feel like it. Yes, you can say that, but there is a nice volunteer, I don't know, legend in the theater or in shows, which I like. Should we have one last question? Yeah, you put your arm very high up, so it's your last question.
I'm just so curious about, how you felt after wiring. Did you really just have to do all that work of wiring the 2 towers and then go almost immediately?
Yeah. Well, the story is pretty much what you saw. It was totally insane. first, the days before, everything was ready, and I couldn't sleep. I was till 4 in the morning looking at stupid movies of the week, or old movie, $1 million movie, usually of bank robberies and all that, which the Man on Wire documentary shows. Or I was also looking at the news of the weather, but my English was not good enough, and they spoke so fast I could not understand. So I looked at the little column with the sun and the cloud and the rain, and trying to quickly see Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So, but basically, I didn't eat, I didn't sleep, I didn't drink before the war, and then an entire night being, with all the plan not working well, I was basically in the worst conditions in the world to walk. And at the very end, when I put my costume and I find out my costume is gone, which was very important to me, I wanted to be in the same costume than my street jogging. You see on the wire, and instead I didn't have that turtleneck. So anyway, I had a little bit of water left, and instead of drinking, and I had not drunk in, I don't know, like 12 hours, instead of drinking, I used the water to wash myself, because I was, I had grease and dirt and bangs and all that. So anyway, it's pretty much what you saw. It was totally insane, but at the same time, when you are working for 6.5 years on a dream, are you going to be normal and say, oh, I need to rest, I need to sleep, I need to drink? And so personally, I could not. My dream was almost pushing me forward. And it's a good last question, because maybe we should stay on the world, the dream, because the other title, I don't really like the walk, but it's a dream basically. And what it does, the reason I love when people love and interact with a movie, with my adventure at the World Trade Center, I had many of the dreams and adventure, is that when you love or when you appreciate, actually you are unconsciously, or some people consciously, you are assimilating your own dream. And many people who saw the movie come to me and says, I feel I can move mountain. I feel I can, how do you say, glue feathers and start flying. So now that's my